I happen to think that market research is completely vital to your business, especially when you're starting and you're looking for your message and how you want to serve. Even if you have an idea of what that looks like, it helps so much to connect with your actual customers. And a lot of the people I talk to, the number one mistake they make is that they don't do their research first. By doing that, you open yourself up to a lot of information that can really help you down the line. So don't be afraid to do it. But also, there are some mistakes that people make when they do take that step to do their market research. Sometimes they get it a little bit wrong, and that starts skewing the results that they have and ends up being the same as if they did no market research. So today I'm sharing 5 mistakes that you can avoid in your market research so that you get the right answers and build your business. Mistake number 1 is that you only ask your friends and family. So this is sometimes a mistake because maybe our friends and family are not our target audience. What do you do then, right? What if you are asking the people who aren't the right people? You get the wrong information. If you were to ask me what it's like to be a busy mom with 3 children, I'd be like, I don't know. What are my biggest challenges? It has nothing to do with kids. And if that's something you help with, then I'm not your person, right? So you're getting completely different answers, wrong answers. Now, if it so happens that your friends or family could be in your target demographic, awesome. Ask away, but don't be afraid to even talk to strangers in this case. It's okay, no stranger danger here. The second thing that they do, the second mistake that I see a lot is that you don't get enough responses. Sometimes you'll get 1 or 2, maybe 3, and run with it. That is all you do. But the truth is, you need a good sample size. Just like with any polls or data that you see in different studies, you've got to have a good sample size in order to see if it's even valid, right? To see what the common theme is. So it's really important for you to talk to at least 10 people. 10, right? Phone calls with 10 people, surveys from 10 people, whatever that looks like for you, get those answers. That's a good enough pool for you to really start seeing those common themes that you can pull out for your message or your services. The next mistake that I see all the time is that they ask the wrong questions. Sometimes you are just excited to get to know them. So you don't focus on their problems, you just focus on getting to know them and their hopes and dreams, right? And that's okay. You need to know that stuff too. But you also need the information that helps you help them better. So really dig into what their problem is around what you do. What are their challenges? How does that affect their everyday life? And what would they like instead? You can even ask things like, what type of solution are you looking for? That way if you're creating one-on-one services for people who don't have time for that, maybe it's time to make a change in audience or service. It's time to this is great and valuable feedback for you to create the right thing. The next mistake that I see is that people only do surveys. Now, surveys are totally valid and a way to gather information. The problem is they don't really give you a lot of opportunity to follow up or to go deeper into some of the insights that you get. So it's really important to even incorporate calls at some point in your market research. And that's where it's scary because you actually have to talk to people and you have to come with questions and you have to feel like you can help them or get them on the phone, right? But if you do, your insights will be so much better because you would have heard it as they're talking in their natural state, right? They didn't get to edit it, they're just speaking to you. Not to mention, they're also giving you the opportunity to follow up on something and they're getting to know you personally or creating that relationship a little bit more deeply. This allows you to do so much more. So don't be afraid to get people on the phone. In fact, I encourage you to. Lastly, is the last mistake I see all the time is that you don't follow up with the interviewees. This part's scary too because you said, hey, will you just help me out with this free quick survey, right? and then you feel like, oh my gosh, now I have this thing that they helped me create and I know that they need it, but I feel weird about saying that I have it to them. You shouldn't. If you are genuinely serving them, genuinely solving a problem, and you created it based on their feedback, you absolutely should reach out. In fact, it'd be kind of mean if you didn't, right? If you could solve their problem, but you didn't actually offer to solve their problem, that's not something a nice person would do, right? So flip the script in your head. Don't let yourself say, oh, I said this was a free thing, now I can't talk to them anymore about anything I do ever. If you are actually helping them and they are part of your audience, I say it's your responsibility to reach out to them and offer them the help. The worst thing they can say is no, and that's not so bad, right? So if you've been putting off doing market research, or you've noticed that you've been doing it a little bit wrong based on this, it's time to change, right? To make those little tweaks that can help make your market research go further. And when you do that, and you get to know your people, it is a straight ride down that train, right, to your first client. And it won't take long if you do market research the right way.